Hi YouTube, I'm here with yet another product unboxing and review video. This time it's the Samsung rugged protective cover for the Galaxy Note20 Ultra 5G. As you might have followed my channel, I have recently purchased a Note20 Ultra 5G phone, which is actually a fairly expensive phone. It's a beautiful phone, but you're expecting to spend nearly $1,000 or thereabout in the US market for this phone. Again, a beautiful piece of machinery, but obviously if you're going to buy something at this price point, you want to protect your investment. So in my case, I actually went ahead and actually put in some tempered glass protector on the screen here, as well as a protection that goes onto this panel, the camera panel. So this one actually gives me protection from several factors. You can pause the video and read through what kind of protection this offers if you want. But yeah, I felt for $11 having a screen protector, even though this phone does carry the Gorilla Glass Invictus screen, I didn't want to take any chances. For $11, throw on a screen protector and you're pretty much good to go from everyday scratches and whatnot. So anyhow, that's what I've got. Now, in addition, I also wanted to put this phone in a case. And, normally I don't buy OEM cases for my tablets or phones. But in this case, when I came through this particular product on Amazon, I went ahead and showed this to my wife. This phone belongs to my wife. So we discussed this, and she really liked this case in general. Not because it's an OEM product, but just the way this looks and what it does, which we'll discuss more in this video. So anyhow, this particular case is actually available in two colors. This one is in the silver, but Samsung also offers this in a black version. Both of them usually retail around the $40 mark, but this one we actually were able to pick up from Amazon for around $20 US. So not a bad price to pay. I would probably not buy this for that original price, but for what this is, $20 seem appropriate. So anyhow, that's the case itself. In the package, let me just quickly unbox this for you guys and actually show you what this looks like. Okay, and put this plastic piece aside. As I take it out, it's actually one piece, it looks like. So let me put aside this packaging, and it's just one piece. There is some text in here. We'll take a look at this in a second. But yeah, it basically comes in one piece. So there are not like two or three pieces that need to be put together. It does say on here it's made in Korea, and it's a Samsung original OEM case. The case itself on the inside feels like a rubberish material, and on the outside, this part here is some kind of a plastic. So that's what it looks like. Let's talk about the specs. Well, maybe before we talk about specs, let me just throw the phone in the case and actually show you how that actually looks. So it's fairly simple. All I need to do is slide that in. Now, mind you, I do have the tempered glass screen protector on there, as well as on the rear I have the protector on here. But sliding this in was zero problems. Went in very, very smoothly. As far as the specs on these are concerned, I already told you it comes in two colors. We went with this silver looking finish. You could get this in black. The cutouts, which are very important on a case, on this case, because it's an OEM product, the cutouts are really very, very precise. On a high quality case, that's what you expect. The other aspect is the buttons, right? So you want the case to have buttons that give you like a realistic feel. And on here, I don't feel like I have to struggle at all. This feels like the natural buttons. So yeah, it's the feel of the case is really good in that sense. So I would say those are the two key things that stand out, at the cutouts as well as the feel of the buttons. I do not have to struggle getting to the S Pen either, which would obviously be important in the case of the Note. So yeah, it goes in and out real easy, no problems whatsoever. In addition, with this case, Samsung also provided this textured side on the case. So you'll see it runs pretty much the entire length of the case, and that makes it very easy to grip. So I would say it's a pretty grippy feel to the phone, which otherwise the phone wouldn't give you. So I appreciate that. In addition, it also does support wireless charging, which the phone generally does, but with this case on, you can expect to get that as well. So let me actually show you. So if I have my charger and I put this on, it is charging, so no problems. So with this case on, I can use wireless charging if I want to, which is obviously something you want. In addition, because this is a rugged case, it will protect the phone from minor drops and whatnot. I wouldn't test it with a very hard drop or anything, but for everyday drops around, I think this case will do the job. It's meant to be a rugged case. It is probably the most rugged case that Samsung makes for this phone. But I wouldn't want to test that theory by throwing $1,000 investment, just to test this. Anyhow, so that's what they say. Now on the sides, I see that there is a bit of a like a little bevel, type, this notch here that goes a little bit above the screen on both ends. So if the phone were to drop in this fashion, the screen would not come in contact with the surface. It's going to come in contact with this top part and the bottom part first. On the sides, it does not have that because this is a edge-like device. The screen goes, kind of edges into it. So I like the fact that when this case was made, they made sure that they do not create a bump here and block that beautiful screen. So it's very, very important in the case of this phone that it does not block in any way. So the notches are really on the top and bottom and not on the sides for that reason. Even though this is meant to be a rugged phone, so you could compare, or a rugged case, and you can compare it with something like the Otterbox, which is known for durability and whatnot. But I like the fact that, the form factor this comes in terms of how compact it is. It's a large phone to begin with, the Note20 Ultra. But if you have a case that is meant to be rugged, but at the same time is able to be as compact and not make this phone like really large in your hand, that would be a very good thing. So this was another key reason why we went ahead and purchased this, because the Otterbox would make the phone look a lot more bulkier, and we didn't want that. So these are some of the factors that went into making this decision. One thing that I would also point out on this, which is a pretty key feature, is this little kickstand. There are two of them that come on this phone, so you could actually put the phone down and watch whatever you're looking at that 45-degree angle, or if you want a little bit more of an angle, there's a longer kickstand, and this gives you a bit of a better angle, so maybe more at a 60-degree angle or so. So anyhow, so you get these two kickstands. It's got a nice feel to it. These are plastic, mind you, so I wouldn't test the strength of it too much, but I think in everyday usage with an adult, it should be fine. That's what it feels like. Now, as far as the camera module is concerned, this particular phone has this a bit projected. What we also like about this case is that it makes it flush. So if I keep the phone now, it doesn't wobble like it normally would without the case. And so that's really, really nice to kind of create a more seamless and flush back on this phone without necessarily having that problem. So those are the key things I wanted to go and show you. As far as the documentation is concerned, I don't see much to be, for a phone or a case, which is as simple as this. There's not a lot to be talked about, and it's in very little text anyhow. I wouldn't bother with that. One thing that I do want to mention about this case, which actually jumped out at me when I was reading this. It says on the case, it says 5G performance may be impacted by a case or cover. Now, I did some investigating on whether this phone, which is a 5G phone, with this case, would that necessarily cause a 5G performance? Now, it turns out that 5G connections need a certain kind of a wireless signal, and that signal can get interrupted. It depends on the 5G technology involved. At least that's what I have read online. I'm not entirely sure how much of this is a problem, because you don't really see a lot of information around the 5G connectivity interference topic. But since Samsung does say it, this is something I wanted you to be aware of. In our area, I don't expect us to be having too many problems with 5G connectivity. It's not like there are too many 5G applications anyway. But for the phone does, this would be considered a drawback of this. Now, again, I'm not sure if the Otterbox or other more rugged cases would also have the same problem. But the fact that Samsung actually talks about it, it's something that you should investigate if you are truly concerned about it. In our case, we were not concerned because 5G is not a typical service that we get anyhow, even though the phone is 5G. And 5G is still growing, as you know. So for all the other pluses of the case, this one, even though it does state that on the packaging, I would consider that to be a negative, but I'm not sure if this is really solved by other manufacturers at all. So that's a brief look at this particular case and its key features. If you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.